Welcome back. Kentucky Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, yes, he's had his differences with President Trump over the years. Well, he's going to have another one because this is what he's saying about the president's current efforts to end the war in Ukraine. He's saying the president and his top advisors are pursuing a, quote, illusionary peace that he said could be ended to a place where the headline reads as follows: Russia wins, America loses. I want to bring in our political panel, Chuck Rocha. He formerly served as a senior advisor on Bernie Sanders' 2016 and 2020 presidential campaigns, and Maura Gillespie served as an advisor to former House Speaker John Boehner and former Congressman Adam Kinzinger. As you can see, they are both joining me from New York. So give my regards to Broadway. Maura, let me start with you. Even the president acknowledged this week that it's possible, he said, and I'm quoting him, that Vladimir Putin might be slow-walking the talks on ending the war with Ukraine. The momentum that the White House was so insistent was building a week ago seems to have dissipated.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that the president's recognizing that. It's taken a little longer than I would have probably hoped for him to realize that the partner he should be working with is not Putin. Despite his affinity for him, it's become a real problem for the Republican Party because it's not what we've long stood for. We've always recognized Russia to be an adversary. And yes, they're not economically threatening to us, but their partnership with China and other bad actors like Iran has been a problem. So I think it's really important for him to at least come to this recognition. I just wish he would take further steps back from Putin and recognize the role that Ukraine plays for our foreign policy and our standing in the world.
Chuck, your take?
Look, I think that Mitch McConnell said what a lot of other Republicans are scared to say. The Republican Party for a long time, and I have run lots of campaigns against Republicans, and I'll keep it in mind that Maura's sitting right next to me so she don't hit me. But we come at this from an angle as Democrats, and normally we're fighting Republicans who are very hawkish. They love a good war. They love military spending. And so what the former leader is saying is what a lot of them are thinking, but because he's not running for office again, he ain't scared to say it.
Chuck, I want to read to you something that crossed our attention from Politico about Democrats and the aftermath, the continuing sober aftermath of the 2024 election. Quote, "It's been months since Democrats suffered a devastating defeat at the polls. For all the talk about the party's need for change, few seem actually willing to make the leap." True?
True, but also there's a glimmer of hope. True that a lot of the things in the party are staying the same, mainly consultants and folks in power, which is hard to move them out of. But I do see something happening. I'll draw everybody's attention to Pennsylvania and a state Senate special election just 3 days ago in a district that Trump won by 15 points. A Democrat won that in Lancaster County, which is the first time a Democrat represents that county since 1889. This is the old thing that Carville's talking about. Do you want to sit back and just let him blow up, or do we do that and do something different? That's what I think Democrats need to learn from this.
The name checking there, James Carville, ladies and gentlemen. Diagnose for us, Chuck, while I have you, the Wisconsin Supreme Court race and the two special elections in Florida.
It's going to come down to be a nail-biter. In Wisconsin first, it's a 50-50 state. It's a state where it's half Democrat, half Republican. I think the Democrats who have a better turnout in special elections win that. In the two races in Florida, they're close. They're both Republican plus 30 for Donald Trump. If Democrats get anywhere near winning that where you can smell a victory, it's a big setback for Republicans.
Maura, will any of those three races that Chuck described have any effect on Republican calculations and calculus?
Florida will, for sure. Florida will.
About Trump and the agenda.
I think Florida will because you're already seeing it play out. The fact that Elise Stefanik had to renege on her, ambassadorship to the UN, that's creating quite the dynamic within leadership. But also it shows you that the Trump world recognizes that they are going to be losing people. They know that if the economic situation does not improve, voters are not going to continue to support him. And they know that the tariffs that he has been calling for will, at first and immediately, cause pains in the economic department for people as far as voters and their cost of grocery, cost of living. And so recognizing that he has about a year and change to get his agenda across the finish line, and he can't afford to lose any seats in the House or the Senate.
So, Maura, let me just continue with this line of questioning with you, because we're going to have these races on Tuesday, Wisconsin and Florida. And as that happens, House Republicans, Senate Republicans really are going to need to roll up their sleeves to get in negotiations about what tax cuts do you include, What budget cuts do you impose, and how do you put all that together with votes and politics? These races might inject some caution in there, you think?
They might, but what's going to be most important is that they come together and stay unified. They cannot afford to lose anyone, and that means, they're going to have to really look at Thomas Massie as their one out because he's unlikely to join them. But they're going to have to stay unified, stay together, and they cannot afford one or two defections here. They're really going to have to come together and find a solution that they all can agree upon to get across the finish line.
Coming to us from the bright lights of New York City, Chuck Rocha and Maura Gillespie. Thank you very much.